creatives, and today you're here for the Take5 Art Journal Collaboration for April 2019, and oh boy was this a process. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea because this is a long video. It took me, I think, about 4 hours to complete this page, and I struggled a lot with the prompts. But first of all, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm working in an altered book I bought at a secondhand store, and I made several pages in this book. It's quite a large book, which I really enjoy working in every once in a while. And I'm adding 2 layers of gesso on this page to give me a really nice base, because I thought the letters were too much showing through for what I was planning to do. So here are the prompts for this month. They were chosen by our lovely Sylvia. And the first prompt is metallic paint or markers, or both if you want. Add a tag, circles, add fabric, and write something with your non-dominant hand. So this last prompt was the inspiration for my page, because I already knew that writing with my non-dominant hand, I'm right-handed, so I had to write with left, was going to be quite a challenge, and it would look imperfect. So my whole page is about imperfection and the beauty of imperfection. And I wanted to make a colorful background. So I'm just playing with my paints. These are Amsterdam acrylic paints. I started out with some turquoise green, and now I'm using, let's see, primary cyan. All the colors are also listed down below, and I will try to find a link for you so you can purchase the products that I use. These are affiliate links, so you know you don't pay anything extra, but it would help the channel to make videos and to support me if you would like. So that was my plan. First of all, I just wanted to play with my paints and just go for it, and the whole inspiration came from the last prompt. Because I already knew I didn't want to write something and cover it up. I wanted to be dominant on my page, because I am all about showing the imperfections and not covering them up, because we are not perfect people, and that's good that we're not perfect people. The world would be very boring if we would all be perfect. Now I'm taking some neon pink paint. I totally forgot that I had this, so I was quite excited about using this one. I did struggle a little bit with the opacity of the paints, because some are more translucent than others, but that is fine by me. Now I will just let you watch me painting, and I will pop in later on. After completing all the coloring with the paint, I dried everything, and now I'm going to add a layer of gesso, but I didn't want the gesso to cover it up completely, so I thinned it down a little bit with water, because the colors were too prominent and I wanted to work on them. So I just started with a colorful layer, and I thought it was really cool if the colors would shine through my gesso. So that is why I did this. That's also why I didn't bother to paint nicely, because I already knew I wanted to do this to give it a nice base and a colorful base to work on. So this was quite relaxing to do, and I had a lot of fun. And now I'm going to dry it again, because I dry in between every layer so paints don't mix. And now I'm going to start again with some paint. So now I thought I wanted to use a brush, so I took a brush out of my bin, but I didn't like the texture the brush was leaving, so I'm going back in with my fingers again. And over there the gesso wasn't completely dry, so it is mixing with the neon pink paint. I'm just adding color randomly. There's no rhyme or reason of me adding color. I just want to have a nice balance of colors everywhere. So that is what I'm doing right now. And I am going to add some more pink. I really enjoyed working with this paint. I don't know why I don't use it, or I forgot that I had it. Now I'm going to take some white paint to make some areas a little bit lighter with a highlight. And I'm making sure that I'm continuously painting on the spots that already have new paint. If that makes any sense, because that was a weird sentence, I think. So now I'm adding yellow, and I want to make yellow circles because one of the prompts was circles. So that gives me the first prompt, I think. I'm only at the first prompt. Yes, I'm only at the first prompt. And after this, I am going to take some blue paint. And I put it on my finger, and then I remembered that I wanted to make some marks with my brushes. Some dots or imperfect dots or marks. I don't know how you call them. If you're going to hear some purring, link is coming to my laptop. So I'm just continuing this with my brush, and I didn't look for perfection or perfect stripes or dots or anything. I just wanted to make some marks. Link, don't walk on my laptop. Thank you. Now I'm going to dry this again. And after that is dry, I'm taking a Neo color too. This is a black one. This is a water soluble crayon. And I'm going to add a doodly border because that's what I do. I always add doodly borders everywhere. And I'm going to make some scribbles around my circles. If you are regular on this channel, you know that I love to do this. So this is just me being me. And here comes the fabric. So I had these wonderful fabrics from my dear friend Lucy. She's also here in the collab. And this was the perfect place to use them, but I wasn't sure on how I wanted to use them and which ones I wanted to use them, so I grabbed all of them, but they were too big, so I cut them down into smaller squares. So I used this beautiful floral pattern and this one, and then I'm going to arrange them on my page once I'm done cutting them. And this was quite, I don't know, figuring out what I wanted to do. I shuffled them around a lot and changed my mind a lot. And then there was this moment I was like, okay, I need to commit, otherwise this fabric will never go on my page. And now I'm just gluing them down with some regular all-purpose glue. Once the fabric was down, it was time for me to add my metallic paint, which is the third prompt. And I chose to use some metallic paint and add it like I did with the other paints, so it wouldn't be looking weird with the whole page, if you know what I mean. So this is a paint from American Crafts, and I got it in a scrapbook kit once. And it's very translucent. So that was quite a thing, and I let this air dry and walked away from my page because after this step I didn't know what to do. So when I came back, I decided I needed some stamping or some letters, and this is one of my favorite stamps, and I will also list this one down below. It's from Kyra Studio, and it's called Alphabets by Anna. And some watering can archival ink because I didn't want to use black. And after I completed this, I was quite pleased with myself. So it was time for the tag. And I don't have big tags, so I use my Tim Holtz stencils as a template to make tags. And I used some Strathmore mixed media paper to make the tag. I love this paper. It gives me a lot of joy to work on this. And of course a tag needs hole, so I made that with my hole punch. And now comes the struggle with the tag. So first I'm going to add a layer of gesso, so you get 2 art pieces in one. And I'm going to dry this, of course, and then I'm going to approach the tag the same way as I did with the page. And I don't know. At the end you will see. You will see later on in the video what happened. But I was having fun and just playing around and making this tag because I didn't want to use a tag that was already made or just blank or a small one. I want to make a little piece of art on there because I saw Amber K Creative, her videos, and she used tags in her art journal pages, and I really liked the look of that. So I wanted to do something like that. And at the end I think it worked out, but it was quite difficult to do. So now I'm going in with the pink paint again. And really, guys, this is a hot mess. This tag is a hot mess. It looks like a hot mess. It will stay like this for a while. And now I'm going to add the gold paint, trying to make it better or something. I'm not quite sure. It was just one big hot mess. I did have fun creating this. It was quite relaxing. But I think you all know or understand by now why it took me 4 hours to complete this page, because I was quite ambitious. So now I'm going to add the yellow circles again on my page, and I want to have 5 circles because I love uneven numbers. And after that I'm just going to scribble with my Neocolor too, and this is the step I didn't think about beforehand. So this was quite just not thinking. Because I knew I wanted to stamp this lady on there. She is from a Finnabair stamp set, Trust the Magic. And I didn't think about her placement. So that was quite, I don't know, I was quite disappointed with how it turned out at first. And I tried to fix it. I think it worked out okay at the end. But this was quite a struggle for me. I'm also very happy with my Tim Holtz stamping platform, because I couldn't have done this without this platform. As you see, the stamp just doesn't go on there right in one time. So this stamp needs a stamp platform, and that is also why I wanted to use this stamp, because I knew I wanted to have the platform for stamps like this. And now the face disappeared, and I tried to use another Neocolor, but then the woman disappeared, and I made use of the wonderful fact that these crayons are water soluble. So I just wiped it away with a baby wipe and I tried to start over again. I do the same with my stamps. I just clean them with a baby wipe or a microfiber cloth, it depends. So now I wasn't happy with her because she didn't stand out from the background. And I tried to fix that with a white Neocolor too, but that just gave me a gray, smudgy mud mess. It just didn't look good. So I was thinking on how to fix that. Now you can see it looks disgusting. So now I'm taking the baby wipe again, and I'm just going to wipe everything off. And this is actually why I love these crayons. They're very forgiving when you make a mistake. So I was very happy with this. And now I'm taking some gesso on my finger and I'm going to dab on some gesso because I knew I wanted to have some white around her or some light color to let her stand out a little bit. And this, I don't know, I started it and I was like, no, this is not the look that I want, but I commit. Once I do something, I commit and I finish it, and maybe I can work it out later on. And I think I was able to work it out later on, but this was not the look that I was going for, but it was, if you know what I mean. It was this month's page was really challenging me and pushing me, and I ran into so many things that, you know, boggled my mind, and I was like, no, this is not what I want. But I commit. That's always what I do. I commit, and I never throw a page out, because once you've given up on a page, there's no longer the pressure of making something pretty. And this was the point that I was done with it, and I was like, okay, so this is just a mess. I don't care if it will be pretty. It's all about the process, and just let's experiment. So I added the gesso also around the tag, and then I thought, I needed more black. I missed a bit of the grunge and the messiness, so I used my StazOn ink pad to ink up the edges, which I really enjoy doing. And then I think that was the last step of completing this. Yes, now I'm taking my page, and then she just disappeared on my page. Of course, because I used the same colors. Of course she disappeared. And I didn't know what to do now, because this was not the look that I was going for, but it was. So it was quite... I had to think about this one. Now I'm fixing up her eyes with a Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen, because they weren't as clear on the tag. I thought maybe that little detail would change my mind, but it didn't. So I made a new tag. And this is the third art piece you're going to see in this video. And yeah, this is why there is about like half an hour of me arting. Because I made another tag, and I was switching around. Do I want to make another one, or is this one good? No, it's not. And I took out my distress oxides. So this is my swatch book. In this book there are all the colors and products and color names that I have. And I just made a new tag with different colors. So I took distress oxides. I don't know which colors I used. I think it's Tattered Rose, Twisted Citron, and Cracked Pistachio, I think. Yeah, so I'm just doing my distress oxide thing, which is really, really cool. I love working with the distress oxides, and I love to make backgrounds with them. They're so vibrant and so cool and so messy. So I thought maybe this would help, but then I already figured out that I didn't like the color. But like I said, I'm someone who commits. So I think I just finished my tag. I just finished it the way I thought I wanted to finish it. And this is a metallic paint of a watercolor by Prima. This set in particular is no longer available, but I will link another set if I don't forget, because I didn't write down all of my products. But okay, I used this, and then I made the circles on there like I did, and then I'm going to use the same lady, and I'm going to stamp her again with StazOn Jet Black and on my Tim Holtz stamp platform. So I thought maybe this will give me the look I am going for, to let her stand out a little bit. After stamping her multiple times, I didn't like how her face was looking, so I'm going to try to fix this up with some Distress Oxide Tattered Rose. It's a bit of a skin color, so I thought maybe this would help. It didn't, but it's okay. And now I'm going to use the neon pink paint again, and I'm going to make some dots with the other end of my brush. And I really enjoyed this. And to be honest, the tag on its own, I'm pretty happy with this. I do really like this tag, and I do enjoy what I did, especially with the dots. I thought it looked so cool behind the background. But then I put it on my page and I was like, nope, this is not the look I'm going for. So I take this small baby tag and I try to figure out this is what I want, but it's not. So here comes the first tag again. and the second tag and the first tag, and I'm going to switch around both, and I'm going to look which one I want to use. So I stay with the first tag I made. So the second tag is completely unnecessary, but okay, I did it. And then I figured out that this is the spot that I really loved, but the fabric is over there. So do I want to cover up the fabric, or am I going to place the tag somewhere where I don't like it as much, but you can see the fabric? So this was quite hard, but then at the end I decided I'm going to commit. I don't care about the fabric. I'm just going to forget it's there, because this tag looks best on this spot. Now I'm taking a gelato, and I am going to shade around the place where the tag is going to be placed. So it will give a little bit of a drop shadow to let it stand out a little bit. And this worked. And then I enjoyed this so much that I also did this around the fabric pieces to let that stand out a little bit more. And then I finally got the feeling that I was enjoying where I was going. It definitely captures my message about imperfection, because this page is completely imperfect and my process was imperfect, and it took me a lot. And then I'm going to add some black splatters, and I think this finished it all. I was happy that I did this. It was a good call. The black splatters are just amazing. It makes it more messy. It all tied it together. The stamped lady and my background, and this was the point where I got hope again for my page. So this is also why I never stop. I just continue working my page until I'm happy. And now I'm going to write my quote with my left hand, and I'm going to practice first on this piece of scrap paper. And oh boy, does this look pretty, doesn't it? Me with my left hand. So I got a bit of feeling how to write my left hand, and now I'm going to take a ruler to draw some guidelines, because I'm right-handed and I can write straight with my right hand, but I'm not going to take the gamble that I can write straight with my left hand, because I don't have that coordination. And I thought it was cheating if I would write out my quote beforehand with my right hand, as I usually do with pencil. So I just went for it, and I used at first a Sharpie permanent marker, but I didn't like how this was looking on my page. It wasn't fat enough, so I switched over to Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in B. And I left this all in for you, so you can see my struggle with writing left-handed, and I was thinking about not smudging it and how to place my hand. And I feel for you lefties, because this is hard to not smudge what you just wrote down and to place your hand a certain way. It was a challenge, but I think I did very well for someone who's not left-handed, because I didn't think about this as writing. I thought of this about like drawing letters, and I think that helped me a lot to make this. And the quote that I'm writing is, "There is a kind of beauty in imperfection," and I think that sums up this page completely. So this is almost the end of my process. I want to let you know that all the other ladies are also posting their video. They are linked down below. I would love it if you would go check them out. And if you make a page, please post your page with hashtag Take5 Art on Instagram. And if you make a video, please send me a link, because I am very absent at the moment on social media, because I am doing my exams, and I have still 5 exams to go this month, and it takes a lot of preparation time, and then I also have some tests. So I hope you all will understand that I'm late with everything, and also with responding, but I always respond to your comments. yeah, so that was my page. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, please leave me a like, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking with me to the end of this page, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!